So guys, here's our stator cover with the stator in it from the C70. You can see the water line right there. I don't know if you can see it, right there. And we're gonna just dump it in this bucket of Osfo. It's got water and some Osfo, and we'll let it soak in there and see if it cleans it up a little bit to see if this thing is even salvageable. All right, let's do it. Okay, so this is what's in the bucket. Mostly water, a little bit of this, and we're just gonna see if it cleans it up. We'll let it sit for about 20-30 minutes and we'll go from there. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Motorcycle Rewind. And today we're back in the island of misfit toys. We're gonna see if we can get a little closer to getting this C70 running and this nightmare of a dream. In the previous episode, we dug into both of these abandoned motorcycles. This dream had been sitting for a while. The cylinders were full of stuff that didn't look like stuff that should be in pistons, in cylinders, and they were really bad. This one, the C70, although we got it free, oh, it turned. Oh my gosh. It does have a problem with some rust. And we're going to see if we can get this guy to make some noise, maybe generate some spark, and hopes, fingers crossed, we get to run. We're still trying to free this engine up. I don't hold a lot of hope for the CA77, the Dream, but we're not quitters, so we're going to give it a shot. Okay, so we couldn't get this cover off because they were stripped out. So I came armed with my impact driver and a good old hammer. So let's start whacking on it. Just hold it nice and firm and just wallop it like my grandmama used to say. And then now we're free. So let's take a look at what's inside here. Okay, let's get this cover off. Wonder how bad it's going to be. Anybody have any guesses? See, it's always nice when the screws are just mangled so much. And look at the others. This one. I mean, they're just hammered. Yeah. Oh, it's not too bad. Let me get a 14 millimeter and see what happens. Okay, so 14 millimeter wrench. Let's see what's going to happen besides tighten this nut. Nothing. I don't want to snap it off. It is stuck like Chuck. Yeah, it is stuck. Dang it. I can try it. It was bad news. We sprayed some more juice in there. I think I got to get this cover off to see if I can get on here. Doesn't look too bad in here. It's just in here is where it's a bad spot. Maybe we'll just spray some more stuff in there and let this guy soak, and we'll come back to it. Maybe we'll try to clean this thing out a little bit more and then come back to it to see. We'll keep soaking some juice in it. We'll spray some more juice in it. So I know a couple of you guys were probably yelling at the TV while, or yelling at the screen while I was on this nut here, on this bolt here, but I'm only using this wrench. I'm not using a long lever. I'm not using a cheater pipe or anything like that because I know I'll snap this guy off if I pull on it too hard. So again, just wanted to put some tension on it and using just a standard wrench. I didn't want to go too crazy to try to do anything. Now, if I can get this side cover off and we can get to this, then we can get a little more aggressive. But for right now, we're going to put some more juice in here, and then I'll probably blow it out again. See if we get more of it clear, but let's put some PB Blaster in here. That's probably, that may be pretty good. Yeah, there you go. That's definitely enough. Comes out the top. And let's put some more over here. This side looked better than the other side. The other side was pretty bad. Yeah. We're just filling it up. And well, I'll blow it out in a little while, and then we'll put some Marvel's Mystery Oil in it. We will have to do some wiring to it if we get to that point. When and if we get to that point. So let's turn our attention back to the silver bullet over here. So I got the cover off, and I went and put it in some OSFO to let that start cleaning up. We are going to clean this guy up. I did notice that we're missing our starter chain for our starter motor, but we'll try to clean this guy up a little bit. And look, that was the top. I'm guessing it was sitting probably about like that, and everything else had water in it. Pretty crazy. Who knows where the starter chain went? Maybe it just rotted off, but it wasn't in the case, so maybe it was removed at some point in its life. Again, this thing has 1,276 miles on it. We are missing a key. What I am going to do is pop this cover off to see if I can get to the wires, to see if I can get some power running through this thing, and if I can clean up this flywheel a bit, and we'll see if we can get some spark. And if we get some spark, then we'll see if we can just squirt some juice in it to make some noise. So fingers crossed. Okay, so you remember, over here, what are you looking at? Okay, so you remember when we freed up this engine, I didn't think we had compression, but then today I said, let me kick it and see what happens. And oh, it's in gear, it wants to go. That sounds like it'll run. That definitely sounds like it'll run. So I'm hopeful. Let's open up this can of worms up here and see if we can get power running through this thing, and then see if we can put the stator back together, see if we can get some spark. Okay, so just a couple of screws. Should be one on each side. It looks as though somebody's been in here. I'll show you why. I think somebody's been in here because it says top right there, and that's not the top. That's just, I don't know about you, but I'm just assuming. It looks like somebody's been in there. And the extra rubber around the headlight. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah, and that. We're gonna need a headlight bulb if we're gonna fight crime today. I love ingenuity, and I love the homemade. We had a light that maybe was a little too small. Maybe we didn't have everything we need, but we had a roll of duct tape. And so that worked. Okay, so we got to start digging in here, trying to get to the switch, which is busted. I didn't check to see if they had modified it to where they could just jam a screwdriver in it and turn it. So once we get it over here, we'll do that. And if that's the case, then we'll just push it back in. Yeah, they had modified it, so this will turn. I don't know what's on and what's off, so let's hook the jump box to it and see if we can get power running through this thing. Okay, so we have the jump box hooked up, just the power, the positive to the positive wire, and then this guy just grounded. We'll turn it on, and then we'll start monkeying around to see if we get anything. So our 1,276.2 mile C70 may be called into question. As you can look back there, let me do a little pointing. As you can look back here, this thing right here that I'm pointing to right there, that is the speedo cable. And it is not connected. Well, we can actually take this guy out, which would give us a little bit more room for activities. We weren't getting any power to our switch, so I'm just going to unplug this guy right here, see if I can pull it out and see if I'm getting power to it. Okay, there has definitely been some monkey business going on. So this switch, maybe somebody tried to, maybe they pulled it off, because these wires are in here. Just, let me show you. It took some effort to get, see, here's the wire that comes in, and it's wrapped around here. So we're gonna have a lot of room for activities once we can get this wire these two, black and red and this black and white with that connector right there. If we can get that guy out, we'll be in good shape. Okay, let's see if we can get this guy. Come on. We're close. Turn loose. Okay, maybe I can get it up this way. Get this guy out of the way. See if I can get this guy out of the way. Maybe I'll give you a little bit more room. This is just a monkey in a football situation. You figure out who the football is and who the monkey is. Come on, right? So for them to get it in here like this, they had to work hard. I mean, that was hard work. Because I've got to get between, see, I'm wedged in between, looks like a brake cable and a throttle cable. Just wedged in here. I got it. Free at last, free at last. Okay, so I have my test light grounded. Fingers crossed we get power to this red one. If not, we got to figure out why we don't have power to the red one, because it should be making our way all the way here from the other. Let's keep digging. This is a first. Let me know if you've seen these things before. I've never seen these guys. I've seen this one, but I've also never seen that many connectors in that short a space. Look, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That may win the prize. That's going in here, that it truly could have been this one, which this may be the brick here, but you probably could have got by with not these in the middle, just those two, and it would have worked. Jam it in there, put your headlight on. I think it would have. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you know anything about these connectors, go ahead and let me know, because I've never seen them before. Okay, let's start trying to see if we can figure it out. Have our test light. The test light is grounded to the engine. We're here. If I go here, so I got light, so I got good power here. Guys, let me know how you do this. This is how I do it. I'm visual, so I like to use a test light. So let's go here. Let's check our fuse. Next step. Come on, be the fuse. We got power going to our fuse. Is our fuse? Looks good. Yeah, it looks good. Let's test it here. Put it back in. We'll test the back of the fuse here. Oh, nothing. Hold on, I thought that fuse was good. Maybe did we find it? Make sure we're good here. Yeah, we're still on, still got power. Let's test it. Is this fuse not any good? If that's the case, that's a good case. Let's see. Let's see if it makes its way through. We'll just hold it here, see if it's the fuse. No, the fuse is working. So I wonder if we have something in here. Huh. Oh, fuse may not be working anymore. Maybe I can just put a different fuse junction. Let's see. Because all I was doing was poking on the back of it right here. Nothing. Oh, we got something, but not. No. Yeah, maybe. But that could be it. If I'm on the, I feel like I'm on the metal here. I just have a bad connection in here. Let's see if I can replace this. Okay, so I'm going to replace this guy with this guy because I buy them in packs of like 10. On Amazon, they're super cheap. I'll leave a link down below if you're interested. It's almost cheaper to buy the whole 10 pack than it is to buy one and to have it. And then I got a box of fuses here. Thankfully, I had that with me, so let's get this guy wired in. So yeah, just trimming these off. I'm gonna put an end on it and replace it here. And then I'm gonna splice it in right here. Also happen to have this guy. I don't know if you can see it, that guy, to make it a little easier. They're super cheap getting them on Amazon. So better than going to the local, let me make sure that's big enough. Go into the auto parts store and you'll pay a whole bunch of money for like 8 of them. So let's go ahead and get this crimped on. And these are heat shrink too, so once I do that, I'll be able to heat shrink these. Okay, so I have it crimped on. Now I'm gonna get my creme brulee maker and then just shrink that bad boy down. There we go. If you're using the flame, you just gotta keep it moving so you don't burn everything up. And then just gonna snip this guy off about right there and trim it, and then we'll splice it together. So I'm gonna use one of these heat shrink solder joints right here. It's got a little solder in the middle and then heat shrink on either side. These things are stupid simple to use. Just slide it over, slide this guy back, and then have your 2 wires meet up right there where the heat shrink is, and then just heat it up. The good thing about the blue bits are adhesive, so they're going to stick the covering and the shrink wrap, and then the solder's in the middle. So just going to go at it. I like to heat the shrink wrap to get it to stick a bit before I go, and then just heat it up. I'm going to stay back a little bit so it doesn't cook it. And you just keep going until it melts that solder. There you go, you start to see the solder flowing. And then let it cool and you got a good joint right there. A little bit better than the 4 we had up front. I think I can feed this guy through right here. Yeah, there we go. A little cleaner. The good thing in this situation, if this bike is junk, then I can just snip this guy off and I still have my fuse box, my little fusible link fuse box. Let me get this guy on. Let's tighten that back up. Okay, it's still grounded to the head. Box is on. Now let's test to see if we have power coming to our red. Now we have power coming to our red. So now let's test our janky fuse box, our janky switch, and see if we get any kind of movement if we turn this thing now. Okay, so let's turn this thing, see if we get any power anywhere or any kind of anything. This switch may still be bad. We're just going to run a jumper, I think. I was hoping it would work, but it doesn't seem like it. And I'll show you the jumper we're going to run. Okay, we can all agree that this switch is not a switch. Even if we stuck it into the thing, it's going to keep sliding in and out. So let's just snip this off right here. Let's slide this, and then let's just put these wires together and see what happens. Okay, so we got our jumper right here, just the black and red wired in. This guy is going to go to the run switch, and we do have power running now throughout to our black wire, which is good. But when I was back here looking, this wire feeds to our CDI. I think this is our ignition here. So it feeds into this guy right here. But it looks like, let me turn you some light on. I don't know if you can see it, but it's been chewed on a little bit. So I'm going to unwrap it from here, and I'm going to snip it right there and put another connector on, and then we should be able to plug it in, and hopefully we get power, the ability to have power running in more places. Fingers crossed. We still have this to deal with. Don't worry. I know. We still have that to deal with. This guy is disconnected, but I'm just trying to get power running everywhere, fixing what I can until we get that guy on so we can hopefully give it the best chance to maybe do something. Okay, let's just snip this guy back. Get rid of the stuff that the mice ate on, and then we'll see if we can strip it back. Guys, I'm going through all the electrical connectors today, but these are pretty cheap. You buy them in a kit, And they come with the male and female connectors, and even the doubles, in case you need doubles. Everything you need, the little cover to go on it, just like that, works out pretty good. So they look more factory. They look factory-esque, right? Very similar, so it's not too bad. So I like to take one of these solder joints and then my handy dandy knife. Just trim it right there, right next to the solder joint. Just like that. Now, if you had a soldering gun, you could do this too. But then I just put that right on there, right there, and then I'm going to apply some heat to it. So I'm actually going to solder that. Applying some heat. The solder joint is right to the end of that. So stick the adhesive first, and then let the solder joint, look, it's already starting to melt. There, it's perfect. There. So now I've got some solder in that joint, so that joint's going to be a whole lot better than not having it. Okay, so now we just take this connector, plugs it right into our factory connector. So that's a whole lot better. We got rid of the hungry mice, and we're ready to go. So I went ahead and twisted up our black and our red, black, and white to that. So now we have power coming all the way to our CDI, our little ignition box, whatever you want to call this thing. And so hopefully, once we get everything working, once we clean up the other side, so we'll have to clean this guy up really good because there's a pickup right here and there's one on the cover. So we need to make sure these are really clean so that when they turn, they actually make some connection. We can actually get some juice to everything. So pretty excited. Let's get to cleaning this up. Cleaning. Oh, this thing is rebuilt. We just rebuilt this guy. Brand new. Oh, let's hose it out with a little PB blaster. And that won't hurt it. That's way better. Let's go check on that other one and see how bad it is. Okay, let's get in here and see what we got. Still looks pretty bad. Still looks pretty bad. Let's see if we can apply a little bit of maybe some brushing to it and see. I don't want to use the wire brush in here because I don't want to destroy that, but I may need to use a little brush to see if I can knock off some of that and then put it back in. Okay, so I'm going to hit it with a little brake clean. I've been spraying it with brake clean to try to get off this rusty, gunky, I don't know exactly what it is, but we'll hose it out with this and then we'll see if we can get this guy a little cleaner, and I'll get back to you in just a moment. Look at this. It's like an archaeological dig. Look at this. It comes off in a whole mess. Let's see if I can get a little brush in here and see if I can clean that up some more. Okay, so just have this little brush. This is what I really need to clean up right here, is this pickup right here. Right there, that's the spot I need. I mean, it'll be better than it was, but well, it'll be different. We don't know if it'll work. Okay, that looks a little better. Maybe it's going to be usable. I don't know. But at least we'll clean up our pickup a little bit more right here. We'll clean that guy up a little bit more. It's got a magnet, so that's why it's got funk on it. We'll clean that up. And let me show you what I found. So this guy right here is what's left of the starter chain. So how long was this guy soaking in water to eat away at this chain? That's crazy. I would take this guy out, clean the backside of it and that, but I don't have the right bit here to be able to do that. So if we end up running into a problem, we'll do that later. But it is way better than what it was before. And we found the starter chain. Okay, I got a little piece of sandpaper. I'm just gonna sand this pickup right here just to make sure we got enough. Give it the best possible chance to maybe do something. Yeah, that should be good enough. Let me hose it down with a little. Yep. I mean, what's the worst thing happen? Okay, let's put this guy on. Okay, let me wire this thing in. Might as well do it right? I might as well put it around the little thing the way it was. Just because I'm hopeful. I mean, what's the worst thing happen? I mean, it could burst into flames, but I doubt it. Now, let's put a juice to it and see if it works. Let me see if I can use the impact to get this guy off. I'm not very hopeful. We know why it stuck. It was so rusted and full of water, so to be able to put a wrench on it, but that's not happening. Okay, so keep an eye out right there. We're hoping we get some kind of spark, so fingers crossed. Oh, let me take it out of gear. At least we know it wants to go. I'm not seeing anything. Are you seeing anything? Let me make sure I'm getting power to my coils. And, you know, we got a couple of options of what could be wrong. So we had one identifier. This was loose, which let's make sure our coil is connected and we're getting power to it. Let's look in there. Okay, we got power right here, and this guy right here could be bad. Before I just go trying to look for parts to swap out, I want to make sure kind of what could be. Is this another fuse? Let's make sure this guy's good. So I'm not 100% sure what this is, but I unplugged it. I do get juice to this side, so let me see if I get juice to the other side. I don't get juice to the other side, but let's try this. Keep an eye out right there. We get power here, so that is telling me, I believe, that my pickup over there is working. Right? Catch me if I'm wrong. So I would guess that if the pickup over there is working, if I've traced this guy, it is then going to this guy. And I could have a coil problem, so I'll look at it in just a second. We may just snip the ends of those wires and see. But let me see if I get any power coming to any of these. Which one do you feel lucky with? You guys want to just yell out which one I should see and see if it gets power to it? This one goes to, I don't know what. Which one goes to the coil? Hey, let's see if we get power to this one from here, and then this is the one that was broken, that was chewed up on. So let's see if we get any juice right there. I don't know. If you know, just let me know in the comments. I'm making chicken salad right now. No, we got nothing going there. Nothing to that, but that goes to the coil. Let's see what's in here. Again, that's why I like points, because they work or they don't work, and you don't have to worry. You know, I mean, you can make them work for the most part. These guys, they either work or they don't, and then you're looking at a magic box that you can't get into. You know, so this guy could be bad. The coil could be bad, or I may just have to snip the end of my wire to go on there. It's just a one-wire coil, looks like. Okay, let me snip the end of the wire and see if we get any better. Okay, let's see if we can get this guy off. Okay, let's Let's snip. Now, if this is it, meaning if we figure out that it's a coil, I'm thinking it may not be the coil because the wire running to the coil was chewed up. Also, this guy, the fuse was a little suspect. The fuse connector, right, was a little suspect. And that could have been part of their problem that they were chasing down, right? Intermittent, and it would just shut down, thinking you lose power, but it could be, I mean, you lose spark because your fuse was rattling around and not making a good enough connection. But then this would drive you crazy if that happened to you. But then you would, right, check for power. Blew a fuse. You open it up, the fuse is still good. You put it back together, and then maybe it works till it gets jostled around a little bit more. So that could be it. And then this yellow and black wire being chewed up is another one. So you could have two problems that were driving to it. Or it could just be this guy. But we do know the fuse was a problem. We do know this was a problem. All that leads to the coil. So fingers crossed, the coil's still good. We snipped the end of this wire and Bob's your uncle. And let me know if, in fact, Bob is your uncle. You know, it could be. I don't have an Uncle Bob. Or if you know where that came from, Bob's your uncle. I don't know, but if you do, let me know in the comments. Let's try this again. Let me clean this spark plug a little bit. So just gonna hit it with the brush a little bit. Maybe just to make sure. Ran worse. Let's give it a go. Say, what do you know? Yippee, yippee, yah, 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 yah. Isn't that the way it goes? You know, one day, like you guys say, I'm going to get something that I can clamp these things with. So, or maybe we'll just use my hand and we'll go to turn it. Oh, let me get you guys in a good spot. So, thankfully here we've got 8 of these bikes. So I went and got a known good CDI before I test, because why not? Before I pull a coil off, let me do this. So I've got a known good one, so we can test that. And then if this is it, then I know that coil is good. If we get the same result, then I know that coil is bad. Next step will be to remove that coil if needed. Okay, keep an eye out right there. Again, we replaced that ignition box. See if we see anything. I'm not seeing anything, but I can't see it. So let's put a little bit of this guy here. Something flammable. You guys let me know if something catches fire. No, nothing. So maybe it's a coil. Okay, it's these two right here. Let's see if we can get them off. There we go. Let's get this guy off, and it should be able to pop it right out. Except now I got to deal with, you know, 40-plus-year-old wire that hasn't moved. So let's see if we can get it out. The hard part is just dealing with the, you know, the 45-year-old hard. But this thing probably works. Okay, so let me show you what I did, because I wanted to test this coil. And I've got my jump box hooked up. I've got the spark plug grounded in my jump box, and I have another lead coming off that I'm going to use to fire it. I've got my coil set up right here, plugged into the power, just so I have a connection. So I've got power running to the coil. This is grounded. I just need to break the ground, or ground this momentarily. And if everything works, you should see spark right there. Let me get you in on it. And all I'm going to do is touch my white wire coming from the ground to the back of this guy right here. So let me set you up so you can see. That should be pretty good right there. You should be able to see. And then I'm just going to touch the back of this. And I've got a video on this if you want to see exactly how to do it. And we're looking for spark right there. See it? So our coil is working. So we determined our coil is testing good. But, and this is a known good CDI from the blue bike because we had spark on it. So we know that to be good. This is original factory fresh. I ran the numbers. So this wire was bad going to it. Let's maybe test some continuity and make sure we are still good here. And it could be something else. I'll have to look at a wiring diagram. It could be something else. We know that we get, I think we're getting response from our pickup over there, right here and here, or somewhere else in the wiring. Okay, let's try something. Let's unplug this guy, take this guy off, as bad as what that is. We have another one right here. Okay, we have the battery hooked up. We got the new stator on, or the other stator on. Just keep an eye out right there. Let's see if we get anything. Nothing. And I've tried it with both CDIs, so I think that there is something fishy down here. I did test to make sure that we were still, you know, the igniter. GoPro, stop recording. So I did test to see if the igniter was still working. And if I kick on, see, I'm getting juice, so it's working on the revolution. It's just not getting from here to here. So I think we made progress. All right, we sorted out the key. We cleaned up the stator. That one works. It's still the other one. And we were getting a pulse from our igniter, but I still think we got a problem somewhere in here. So I'm going to do some research and see if I can figure it out. And then we can make this thing make some noise. But I think we're getting closer. It actually is better than what it was last time. It has the low compression, shocking. Boy, if we can get some spark, then pull that carburetor off, clean it up, we may be in business. We may be riding this sucker soon. Let me know. What do you think? Is this even a worthwhile effort? I don't know. I'm a sucker for these misfit toys. So guys, if you enjoy watching a grown man struggle with a pint-sized motorcycle, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And as always, thanks for watching. Motorcycle Rewind, and you guys have a great day.